Hello everyone. With the upcoming release of the new Colt Cobra, that's the all-steel 38 Special plus P rated revolver that Colt's going to be introducing here shortly, hopefully. According to their Facebook page, it's coming out in April of 2017, and it's the middle of April, pretty close. So I've been saving my pennies for quite a while for that revolver, but I'm of two opinions about it, and I think everyone is. I'm excited to see Colt introducing a new double action revolver, which they haven't produced since the 1980s. And so I thought I would take this gun and show you why I'm apprehensive about that too. Wondering if it's such a good marketing idea right now, because Colt has such an opportunity at this point in time to introduce get back into this double action revolver game that they're actually fairly well known for. Their revolvers are very sought after, they're very expensive, even on the used market. This one is probably the lower end of that used market, this Colt Lawman I have here. So I took the opportunity to bring it out and show you why I think the Colt Cobra is a good idea and why it's a bad idea. The Lawman is basically an all steel framed 6-shot revolver. It was this particular one is from 1973 is when it was built. 357 Magnum, of course, 357 Magnum, you can shoot 38 specials through it. This is a pretty tired looking old police revolver. It was carried, dropped, abused, kicked around. Still functions wonderfully though. I know a lot of you Colt aficionados are gonna look at those sights and say that's a Colt Trooper. Well, you can see it's a Colt Lawman, but at some point in its life they added adjustable rear sights to it. They were probably gunsmith added at some point in a red ramp, actually used to help raise the front sight up due to the extra height. Normally this would have been milled out right here. Normally would narrow down here, and the sights would actually, the rear sight would be part of the frame. So they basically took a Colt Lawman and turned it into a Colt Trooper. That's really the only difference. There were some other variations on the Colt Troopers and Lawmans. They made a snub Boves version with a smaller grip on it and a very handy package, much like the new Colt Cobra that's coming out. That's where the mistake lies, I think, that Colt is making. They should have come out with nothing else than a 357 Magnum in that compact size. This is not a very heavy frame. This is what they call their J frame, Colt calls it. It's not comparable to a Smith & Wesson frame size. This actually is about halfway between a K and an L frame. Smith & Wesson, right in between those two. It'll fit in a K frame holster snugly and a little bit loose in an L frame holster. So this gun, as I said, was a police gun. It's been around the world a few times, or at least around the United States a few times. Still functions perfectly. I disassembled this revolver completely to clean it, and it cleaned up absolutely wonderfully on the internals. Very little wear, just a little bit. Functions perfectly though, as you can see, definitely unloaded. It is double action. Cock the trigger all the way back, got a nice light trigger pull, and of course a double action pull also. I'm going to put my thumb in here because I don't want it falling on that. These have a tendency to break their firing pins if they're dry fired. So you can see it beat up a little bit, but a great 357 Magnum small frame. Well, let's call it a medium frame. Getting it all fingerprinted up here. We'll clean it up before we put it back in the safe so it doesn't get any rust on it. No rust showing now. Very pleasing gun, very pleasing to shoot also. So what's the missed opportunity Colt has is, well, with the resurgence of revolvers, I know people's opinions vary on this, but why didn't they introduce something such as this, or any of the other number of variations of Colts that were in 357, such as the Python? What a magnificent opportunity they're missing there. With The Walking Dead, with Rick Grimes carrying his Python in that floppy holster, wouldn't have been an ideal time to introduce a Walking Dead commemorative or something such as that. I don't know why Colt doesn't jump on that kind of opportunity in their marketing. They've always had marketing problems. That's part of the reason they've actually about went bankrupt a few times, having their financial problems. They've lost their government contract on their military firearms, so they're looking for ways probably to improve their bottom line, I'm sure. So I thought it was a golden opportunity to get the Colt Lawman out, take a quick look at it. What a fine firearm it is. These can be had for, well, the prices vary, all over the board on these. I've seen them as high as $2,000 for fine nickel-plated versions. I've seen them more realistically. This one is in the $500, $600 range, especially with the modified sights, probably killing some of the collector value on this, but adding to the historical value of the pistol, or in my frame of mind, or rather revolver. Let me get my terminology straight. Notice it doesn't have a shroud over the ejector rod, which is correct. It is a heavy barrel, 357 Magnum. Of course, you pull rather than push, as you do on a Smith & Wesson, or the Ruger actually is a push button also. And that's the other thing. Ruger has just introduced, their wonderful 357 Magnum 8-shot revolver too. So Colt, to me, is already behind the gun, so to speak, on their marketing of this new Colt Cobra. It's the wrong gun at the wrong time. I believe they should have introduced a 357 Magnum capable of shooting 38 specials in a small frame. In fact, the Cobra, what couldn't they've just upped it to something more like the old Troopers and Lawmans? You can see extremely fine revolver, nothing wrong with that at all. And then in the snub nose version, the little 2-inch barrel and the smaller grips with a more rounded grip rather than this square butt grip that this one has. It would have been ideal marketing at this time. I'm probably gonna still keep my pennies saved up for that Colt Cobra, and we'll take a look at it if I can ever find one. They still haven't been released as of the middle of April here. I've been watching for them. Nobody has them yet. They apparently haven't been released yet. So looking forward to that, to see if it's all it's cracked up to be, even though the price of it, MSRP is going to be $699, and here's a $500 357 Magnum Colt. Not too much larger, probably not carryable very comfortably in this guise as concealed carry, but But time will tell. We'll see. And hopefully within a short time we'll have a Colt Cobra to take a look at. But until they're released, of course, I'm in the same boat as everybody else. Just wait for it and see what the going price is. Of course, if it remains at $700, no, I probably won't purchase one. But usually, at the gun stores, you can get them considerably cheaper than that. So we'll see what happens with them. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again sometime, maybe with a Colt Cobra in my hands. See you next time.